Hello students, welcome to the last session or the last topic of module 5 as well as the last topic in the engineering statistics and linear algebra subject, that is nothing but singular value decomposition, otherwise it is also called SVD. So moving on to the contents, we have our objective is to describe what is a singular value decomposition, and also we'll see some remarks about SVD. We'll discuss an example for SVD and SVD as the application of SVD in image processing also we'll see. So what is singular value decomposition? So far we have seen different types of decomposition of a matrix. We have seen like A equal to LU, right? A equal to LU, where L is lower triangular matrix, U is upper triangular matrix. Also we have seen decomposition like A equal to QR. This is in orthogonalization, and we have seen also A is equal to Q lambda Q inverse. So these are some of the decomposition methods. Similarly, one of the decomposition method is singular value decomposition. Now so far what I was saying was like a square matrix in the case of eigenvalues, right? But here it says that any m by n matrix A can be factored into U into sigma into V transpose. So A is factored into three matrices. The first one is U, the second one is sigma, and the third one is V. It's a transpose. So U is a orthogonal matrix, V is also orthogonal, and the sigma is a diagonal matrix. So how what is there in U? U is a so when it is m by n matrix, U is a m by m matrix which consists of eigenvectors of A transpose. Be careful, this is very important. U consists of eigenvectors of A transpose, and V. So what is V? The columns of V consist, which is n by n matrix. So that is the second part. Consist of eigenvectors of A transpose A. U is for A transpose. This one is for A transpose A, and sigma. That is, sigma is having R values, which is an m by n matrix, which is not m by n or n by n, it is m by n matrix, and it consists of only diagonal elements, and the diagonal elements are not all the eigenvalues, only singular values, that are square roots of the non-zero eigenvalues of both A transpose and A transpose A. So A transpose and A transpose A may have a common this one, and if A transpose A is having more than one, then you have to substitute that one also. So we'll see this one in detail when we solve an example. So simply A is split into three vectors, three matrices U, sigma, and V. That's all. So remember always, A is the original matrix, which is m by n, U is m by m, V is n by n, and sigma is m by n. So first remark is that for a positive definite matrix, definite matrix means all the eigenvalues are positive. In that case, sigma is lambda, and U sigma V transpose is Q lambda Q transpose. And if any negative eigenvalues are there, then lambda becomes positive in sigma. Symmetric matrix means you can represent it as in Q lambda Q transpose, but it is the same lambda, but when it comes in sigma it becomes positive. If it is positive definite, obviously it will be positive. This is the first remark we have to note down. The second thing is, this is very important, what we have studied in the previous module, that is in module number 4. U and V give orthonormal basis for all 4 fundamental subspaces. So what are the 4 fundamental subspaces? One is column space, another one is left null space, row space and null space. So U, we have A is equal to U sigma V transpose, right? So U consists of many columns. In that one, first R columns, where R is the rank of the matrix, R columns are the column space of A, and U is m by m. So R over, then m minus R columns are there, they are nothing but left null space of A, or null space of the A transpose. Similarly, V is an n by n matrix. In this one, the first R columns of V, not about V transpose, the first R columns of V makes a row space, or the basis for the row space of A, and last this should be n minus R. So in n cross n, R is done, so remaining is n minus R, so it should be n minus R. This n minus R columns of V makes a null space of A. So R n minus R for A, and m minus R and R here for row space or A transpose. So this is another important property. Just remember this property, this is very important. And the third important property is the SVD the SVD decomposes and it gives U and V such that there is a very important property, A into V is equal to U into sigma. If you multiply each column of V with this one, the U times sigma times U. No, sigma is a diagonal matrix, so you can multiply each column by one element. No need of matrix multiplication. Column multiplication works here, since sigma is a diagonal matrix. This is another important property. Okay. Now moving on to an example. Find the singular value decomposition of a given matrix. A is equal to minus 1 1 0 0 minus 1 1. So this is a rank 2 matrix because it has 2 pivot elements, right? So how to find? This is not a square matrix, this is a rectangular matrix, so we cannot directly find A minus lambda I. So what we have to do, as the singular value decomposition problem says, we have to find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors for 2 things. What are they? One is A transpose, another one is A transpose A. So we will go for that. So we have A is equal to minus 1 1 0 0 minus 1 1. Now I am defining B as A transpose. A transpose is nothing but minus 1 1 0 0 minus 1 into A transpose is rows becomes columns. So first row into first column gives minus 1 plus 1 plus 1 2. First row into second column gives minus 1 1 into minus 1, that is minus 1. So second row into first column gives minus 1. Second row into second column gives 1 plus 1 2. So you got B, that is nothing but A transpose. Now we have to find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of B, not A, because A is a rectangle. So B is now a square matrix, so we can find determinant B minus lambda I is equal to 0 is nothing but 2 minus lambda minus 1, because 2 minus lambda minus 1 minus 1 2 minus lambda. Determinant is equal to nothing 2 minus lambda into 2 minus lambda square minus 1 into minus 1 plus 1. So minus plus 1 is equal to 0. So expand this one, lambda square I square minus b 2ab plus b square. So a square is lambda square, b square is 4, and 2ab is 2 into 4. So minus 4 lambda then minus 1, so which is nothing but lambda square minus 4 lambda plus 3 is equal to 0. Now if you see, sum is minus 4 and product is 3, which is in the case of minus 3 and minus 1, so I can write lambda minus 3 into lambda minus 1 is equal to 0. So what is eigenvalues? Lambda is equal to 3 and lambda is equal to 1. So we got the eigenvalues of B. What is the next step? We have to find the eigenvectors of B. So we have B is 2 minus 1 minus 1 2. So we have 2 lambdas. So first lambda is equal to 3. So when lambda is equal to 3, so 2 minus 3 is minus 1. Minus 1 it remains as minus 1, minus 1 remains here as minus 1, and 2 minus 3 again it becomes minus 1 into x is equal to 0. So we have to find the value of x, so which is nothing but ax is equal to 0 is the equation. So we want to find the x. So what is this? X spans A to 0, means x is null space, so we have to find the orthonormal basis of A, B here, in this case B minus lambda. So to find x we have to first, so how to find the orthonormal basis for a null space? What we have to find is, you have to change the we have to find, or we have to convert it into row reduced echelon form. So we have the second row, we have here second row is there, so second row is minus 1 minus 1, so the first one row is the same, so I can make this element as 0 by subtracting the first row. So R2 gives R2 minus R1, so minus 1 minus plus 1 0, minus 1 plus 1 0, so you have minus 1 minus 1, which is not in the row reduced form because the pivot element should be 1. So what I have to do, R1 becomes R1 minus R1 divided by minus 1, so it will become 1 1 0 0. So we have a pivot element here, and when this is pivot there is no next element here, so this is a rank 1. Here this one then obviously will be a free variable. So we want to find the value of x. So listen carefully. So you have done mistakes in your assignments, so this is very important. So we have r into x is equal to 0. Then where x we have to find. So x is equal to a 2 by 1 matrix. So the second element is the free element, right? So there I have to put a 1. Wherever you have a second free elements, if you have multiple free elements, then you have 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1, like that. Now in this case only one free element is there, so I have to put a 1 here. Then whatever element there in the free column, that is written with a negative sign in the remaining spaces. So that is what x. So this is x, but we want a orthonormal x, then norm x is equal to root 1 by root 2, because the length of this one will be square root of 1 square plus 1 square, that is 1 by root 2 into minus 1 1. So you got x. Now this is in the case of lambda is equal to 3. Now we will go for the next, lambda is equal to 1. So we have b is equal to 2 minus 1 minus 1 2. Substitute b minus lambda. 2 minus 1 will be 1, and 2 minus 1 will be 1 again, remaining minus 1 here. So what I have to do is I have to make this element as 0. So R2 gives R2 plus R1. So you will get 1 minus 1 0 0. Again this is the pivot element. So this is the free element. So what I have to do, x I have to find. X is equal to, the second is free, so there I have to put a 1, and whatever element in the free is minus 1, when it comes here it becomes 1. Now norm x is equal to its length divided by its length, that will be 1 by root 2 into 1 1. So I can say I got u because I completed the norm this one. So u is nothing but In the previous case it was minus 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2. Here it is 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2. So minus 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 and 1 by root 2. Or I can write it as 1 by root 2 is common into minus 1, 1, 1, 1. So this is u. Now the next part is we have to find v. So v is calculated based on a matrix C, that is nothing but A transpose into A. Instead of A transpose, this is A transpose into A. So A transpose is a column, here it is row. So multiply first row into first, you will get 1. First into second, you will get minus 1. First into third, you will get 0. Similarly go on like this, you will get minus 1, 2, minus 1, 0, minus 1, 1, 1. So this is a 3 by 3 matrix. Now we want norm C minus determinant C minus lambda is equal to 0 to find the value of lambda. So 1 minus lambda, only diagonal elements get the minus lambda term. So 1 minus lambda, 2 minus lambda. So how to find the determinant? First 1 minus lambda into its cofactor, that is this part. So 1 minus lambda into 2 minus lambda into 1 minus lambda minus 1 into minus 1, that is 1. Minus, so second term is minus term, so minus into minus 1 into this row and this columns are closed, so remaining is minus 1 into 1 minus lambda, 0 into minus 1, 0. So you can see that this has a 1 minus lambda term, this has a 1 minus lambda term, so I can take it commonly outside. So here multiplying 2 into 1, 2, lambda into minus 2 lambda and minus, so totally minus 3 lambda, and lambda into lambda, lambda square, and this is minus 1 here, minus plus into minus, so minus 1 minus 1, so 2 minus 1 1 minus 1 0. So you have 1 minus lambda into lambda square in minus 3 lambda, where we can take lambda outside. So it will be 1 minus lambda into lambda minus 3 is equal to 0. So from this one I can write lambda is equal to 3, the highest eigenvalue, and lambda is equal to 1, the next eigenvalue, and lambda is equal to 0. So for sigma I want, so in the previous case we had lambda is equal to 3, lambda is equal to 1. Here we have lambda is equal to 3 and lambda is equal to 1 and lambda is equal to 0. For sigma we want only non-zero, so we have 3 and 1 here. So sigma is a diagonal matrix with the root of eigenvalue, so root 3 and root 1, that will be 1, so 0. So you got the sigma. Okay, that is u is done, sigma is done. So we want v now, so we have to use these 3 eigenvalues. So we will move to the next. So we have C is this one. So first we will consider lambda is equal to 3. So C minus lambda I into x is equal to 0 means minus 1 minus 3, that will be minus 2. 2 minus 3, that will be minus 1. 1 minus 2 will be 1 minus 3 will be minus 2, and remaining everything is minus 1. Now I want to make this element as 1, then I can do that task easily. So I will do R1 gives R1 by minus 2, which gives 1, 0.5 and 0. The next one is minus 1, minus 1 and minus 1. The third element is 0, minus 1, minus 2. Now next task is I have to make this element as 0, because this is the first pivot, all the things below the pivot should be 0. So R2 gives R2 plus R1, what value will get? So minus 1 plus 1 0, minus 1 plus 0.5 minus 0.5, minus 1 plus 0, that will be minus 1. Okay, that is done. So you have a first pivot, you have the second pivot. So what I have to do, I have to make this term as 0. So R3 gives R3 minus 2 R2. So 1.50, 0, 0.5 minus 1, 0 minus 0 0, minus 1 2 times 0.5 will be minus 1, minus 1 minus 1 plus 1 0, and minus 1 2 times of minus 1 will be 0, minus 2, so minus 2 minus minus 2 will be 0. So you got all the 3 rows as 0, so this you have. Now next element is, this is the pivot, this is the pivot, so I have to make all the elements in this pivot column as 0, so I have to make this 0.5 to 0. So what I have to do, R1 becomes R1 plus R2, so 1 0 0.5 plus minus 0.5 0, and 0 plus minus 1 becomes minus 1 here, and this is minus 0.5 minus 1, so 1 0 minus 1 0 1 2. So next step is, this is pivot element should be 1, so I have to divide it by minus 0.5, so 1 0 minus 0 1 2. So this is the R we have. Now we have to derive x from R. So x is nothing but, x is equal to, you have only one free, these two are pivots, these two are pivots, this is free. So which is the element which is free? The third one. So I have to put a 1 in the third element. Now this will change its sign, so it will be 1, minus 1 will become 1, and 2 will become minus 2. So we got x. Okay, now norm x is equal to root 1 by 1 square plus 2 square plus 1 square, that is 1 plus 4 plus 1, that is 6. So 1 by root 6 into 1 minus 2 1. So this is norm x. Okay, so first eigenvalue is done. So the next eigenvalue c is equal to, same, when lambda is equal to 1, 1 minus 1 0, 2 minus 1 1, 1 minus 1 0. So 0 minus 1 0 is minus 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1 0 minus 1 0. Now since there is no pivot element in the first element, I have to interchange the rows. So R1 interchanges with R2, so minus 1 1 minus 1 0 minus 1 0 0 minus 1 0. So the next step is this, I have to make it as 1, and this is another pivot, so elements below that one should be made to 0. So two things I can do in the single step. R1 becomes R1 divided by minus 1, and R3 becomes R3 minus R2. So 1 minus 1 1 remains, because I have divided it by minus 1, and R3 every element becomes 0. Now I have 1 here, I have minus 1 here, this is minus 1, this should be converted to 0. So what I have to do, R3 becomes, R1 becomes R1 minus R2. So 1 minus 0 1, minus 1 minus minus 1, that will become 0, and 1 minus 0 will become 1, and 0 minus 1 0. So the last step is, I have to make this as a 1. So R2 divided by minus 1. So 1 0 1 0 1 0 0 0 0. Now we have to find the value of x. How to find the value of x? Again, as I said, this is pivot, this is pivot, this is free. So the third element is free, so I have to put a 1 there. So remaining 2 are these two values, so they are negative in sign, so minus 1 0. So norm x is equal to 1 by the length of this one will be root 2, because 1 square plus 1 square 2, into minus 1 0 1. Okay, done. The last lambda is equal to 0. In that case, c remains c itself. So 1 minus 1 0 minus 1 2 minus 1 0 minus 1 1. So the first step is, I have to make this element as a 0. So R2 becomes R2 plus R1. So 1 minus 1 0 remains 1 minus 1 0, minus 1 plus 1 0, 2 minus 1 1, minus 1 plus 0 minus 1, and the third row 0 minus 1 1 as such. Next step is, this is pivot, this is pivot, so the element below the pivot should be made to 0. So R3 becomes R3 plus R2. So So 1 minus 1 0 0 1 minus 1 minus 1 plus 1 0 1 plus minus 1 0, so 0 0 0. So we have pivot elements, but not all the elements in the pivot column is 0, so I have to make this minus 1 as 0. So R1 becomes R1 plus R2 gives 1 plus 0 1, minus 1 plus 1 0, and 0 plus minus 1, that will be minus 1. So again, this is pivot column, this is pivot, and this is free. So X is equal to, since the last column is free, I have to put a 1 there, and these two are minus 1. When comes here, it becomes 1. So norm X is equal to, what is the length of this one? 1 square plus 1 square plus 1 square, that is root 3, root of 1 square plus 1 square plus 1 square into 1 1 1. So we got all the three columns. So we have to write U, V and sigma. So as we discussed, U is minus 1 1 1 1, and sigma is root 3 0 0. This is m by m, that is 2 by 2. This is m by n, that is the same size of A, m by n, and 0 1 0. So the last column will be 0, and this is n by n, that is 3 by 3. So in this case, we have the first element was will go here. See the first case, when lambda is equal to 3, x is equal to 1 minus 2, 1 by root 6 minus 2 by root 6 and 1 by root 6. So 1 by root 6 minus 2 by root 6 and 1 by root 6. Second case, it was minus 1 0 1. So minus 1 by root 2, 0 by root 2 and 1 by root 2. And the last case, it was 1 1 1. So 1 by root 3, 1 by root 3 and 1 by root 3. So A is equal to U, that is 1 by root 2 into minus 1 1 1 1 into sigma, that is root 3 0 0 0 1 0 into V transpose. So I can write columns becomes rows here. So 1 minus 2 1 and 1 by root 6 is outside. Here minus 1 0 1, this column becomes a row here. 1 by root 2 is outside, and here 1 1 1, so 1 1 1 and 1 by root 3 is outside. Okay, so this is how we have done the decomposition. Now we will see the application of SVD in MATLAB. Okay, so we have MATLAB online here, and I have a code for SVD. So we know that SVD is singular value decomposition, which decomposes the vector into U sigma V. So U is a eigenvector, sigma is eigenvalue, and V is again eigen vector. So we will go for application in image processing, how this one works. So this is used in image compression. Okay, so we'll see how it works here. Now the first step is clearing the Windows workspace. So clear and CLC, clear all and CLC. I am reading an image called a.image. So if you see here, the image consists of 440 into 352 into 3. So actually a color image is actually consisting of 3 sets, that is red, green and blue. That is what this 3 indicates. But 440 and 352 is the number of pixels. So the pixels takes the value between 0 to 255, means 8-bit representation. So each pixel is a number actually. So in image, each pixel is a number. and I am displaying that image here. So the image is this one, a colorful image which consists of red, green, blue colors significantly. Now what is the size of the matrix? So A is a matrix now with the size 440 into 352. So 450 40 rows and 352 columns. Then what is this? 3 is the number of dimensions. So for a color image it is always red, green and blue. So we will do the operations in red, green and blue separately and we will see the results. Now the very important thing is the total number of pixels is 440 into 352 into 3, that is 4,64,000, or the total number of bits is into 8, or total number of bytes is 4,64,640, which will be almost 460 KB in size. Now I have to I will come back to Kmax here. Now I have to decompose the image, that is the matrix A, into U, sigma and V using SVD. So MATLAB has an inbuilt command to do that one. So I have initialized U, V, S as zeros. Then for each plane, that is 1:2, D means 1, 2, 3. So first plane, second plane and third plane are decomposed into U, S and V using the function SVD. So SVD decomposes that image into, so you can see here U consists of eigenvectors, sigma S consists of diagonal elements, that is nothing but eigenvalues, and V consists of eigenvectors of A transpose A. So this is what we have calculated for red, green and blue. So we have 3 sets each, because we have red color, green color and blue colors. So we do the operation together separately and then combine them. Now since the eigenvalues are in descending order, you can see here the eigenvalues are in descending, the largest eigenvalue, and slowly the eigenvalues decrease. Finally it reaches, it is not displayed here, but finally it reaches to 0. So we want only non-zero eigenvalues, so we can ignore the zero eigenvalues, right, or the eigenvalues which are very close to 0. So what will happen if we ignore some of the eigenvalues? We will see that one in this image. So I am going to display the images using different number of eigenvalues. So first I will consider only the one eigenvalue, that is 306.86, and I am deleting all these columns and recomposing from the decomposed to recomposing, and I will get an image like this, which is an approximate figure. And I am going on increasing the number of eigenvalues. Now in this case I am considering the first 6 eigenvalues, remaining everything I assume it as a 0. So I got a somewhat reconstructed image, and I am going on increasing the changes. As it reaches 26 it becomes more clear, 31, 36, 41, 46, still some more is required, 61. As you reach 71 it is almost clear, 76, 81, more clearer. As you take the more number of, so I need not to take all the eigenvalues. I can see that from this one almost at 75 or 76 it became clear image, right? So I can take only 76 or 75 eigenvalues if I take. So 3 sets are there for red, green and blue. So 3 into 75 values in sigma and 75 into m values in u, and 75 into n values in v. So totally 75 into m plus n, and 75 values in sigma. So totally 75 into m plus n plus 1. So total values of value 1,78,425, which is 1.7 KB. So this is how we reduce the file size. See, this art is a beautiful application of SVD. SVD, instead of taking all the values, if you decompose it into singular value decomposition, it gives eigenvalues in the decreasing order. So only significant eigenvalues are need to be considered. They are sufficient to reconstruct the image. So we can ignore the other values. So the total number of values to be stored is reduced, thereby the file size is reduced. So this is all about today's class. Thank you.